Good people, once again, relax Moeng here, back to the keys. So now we are still covering the keys. Moving forward, I'll go to key number 2. Key number 2 is a spiritual key. This is where now is the foundation. You know, most rich people, they know this key. Most of you people, you don't even know that there is cosmic agreement. You don't even know that there is the dark night of the soul. So those are the things that rich people, they understand. You don't know that there is solar plexus. You don't know even about the third eye. So these are the things that you must cover as you move into the spiritual key. So the spiritual key cover the aspect of you need to understand the way of doing things, the way that things work. There are universal laws. You know, we have many poor people in this world, but now people like God, they just look at these people to say, hey, there are laws that they must follow. They can help everyone in just a blink of an eye, but they can't do it because why? There are spiritual laws, you know. So there are many things that some people have done. There are such things as the concept of karma, you know. There are concept of Taoism, you know. Such concept, they need to be covered. You need to understand in terms of what's going on. That's the spiritual key. Who is God? You need to ask yourself those questions. When the Bible says, let us create man in our own image, what did they mean by that? You know, you need to understand to say, hey, meaning that are we gods or what's happening? You need to understand the spiritual things of things. So moving forward, good people, you also need to understand what are ancestors. You need to understand why do we have religions in India that are praying idols, or why do people go in Ethiopia? There's a mountain that still cover the sand, the seven sand. So you also need to understand. We also have mountains such as Mount Athos. Mount Athos is located in Greece, southern Europe. So you also need to understand to say, hey, what is it that Mount Athos is about? Mount Athos is about the prohibition of women. Women for more than 1,000 years now, women have not been allowed in the Mount Athos. So you also need to understand to say why. What are the reasons of those things? So yeah, the key number 2 was a spiritual key, good people. So I want you to go deeper and dive deeper. And then moving to key number 3, we have social. The key number 3 is social. So who are you hanging around with? What are the people that what network have you built as a person? You know, so what is it that got your back? If things now go south, what will happen to you? What are the people who have your back? What's happening with you? Social. That's when now that key is about you identifying who you are, your skills, and locating your skills in where they need to be located so that they can flourish your life. So moving to the key number 4, family. Key number 4 is family. This is other key that also didn't that had a clash with me. You know, I had a clash with this key. So this key is about a family. How good are you with your family? Because some of the things now we hear now people saying they have sold their soul. What do they mean when they sold their soul? They didn't sold their soul. What they mean is that they had to prohibit the time with their family. They have to sacrifice that time with their family. For money. Those are the things those are the concepts that have been lost. So you need to be good with your family. You know, so and remember, there are only 2 topics. Whether you are interested in those topics or you are not, they will impact your life. That is money and health. Thank you, good people. Let's move forward.